We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by go. You know the thing. Among many qualified people, I'm the best qualified person for this job. I'm beginning to see why your wife left you.
Why attack Sanders?
Why? You're getting nervous, man. COVID has taken this year, just since the outbreak, it's taken more than 100 years. Look, here's the lives. When you think about it. You know, the rapidly rising I don't know. I just spoke at Dartmouth on healthcare at the medical school, or not. I guess I wasn't actually on the campus, but the people from the medical school were at the. I want to be clear. I'm not going nuts. I'm not sure whether it was a medical school or where the hell I spoke, but it was on the campus. I propose, and I'm going to digress slightly. We're in a situation. The president asked me to head up a cancer moonshot. Another country and annexed a significant portion of it called Crimea. He's saying that it was my boss, it was his fault. Guatemala, El Salvador, and to go in and say in Honduras and say, look, I took on Putin in terms of Iraq. In terms of what was going on in Ukraine. By strengthening, by investing $100 billion in education, in global warming efforts. It's a whole range of things. We can't afford it by just beginning to treat reward work as much as wealth.
It get hot. I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun, and the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. If you want to protect yourself, get a double-barrel shotgun. Have the shells, a 12-gauge shotgun. Don't jump! Don't jump! Don't jump! They look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap. To say that LGBTQ people have no civil rights. No man has a right to raise a hand to a woman in anger. We have to just change the culture, period, and keep punching at it and punching at it and punching at it. It will be a big, no, I really mean it. And immediately change the law in the state of Delaware protecting transgender people. We have to eliminate the funding gap that exists between minority white and majority white and non-white districts. We have this notion that somehow if you're poor, you cannot do it. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. I said, no. I said, if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him. Corruption? Trump was out there tweeting again this morning. I call him President Tweety. Well, Trump is pursuing a damaging and erratic trade war without any strategy, by the way. This guy is moving to foment hate. But President Trump and the demagogues around the world, but if Donald Trump is reelected, he doesn't want to shed light. He wants to generate heat, and he's stoking violence in our cities.
Well, as the minutes tick by, Biden's condition appears to be getting worse and worse. But worse still, it's on full display for all of America to see. So it's really just a matter of time, really, before Kamala Harris is installed as the next president of the United States when Nancy Pelosi decides to use the 25th Amendment according to plan.
Excuse me, Pinnell, and what am I doing here? I'm going to lose track here. And I think he's getting on a plane. He told me he came in to see me last event. And Representatives Shirley Jackson Lee, Al Green, Sylvia Garcia, Lizzie Pinelli, excuse me, Pinnell, and what am I doing here? I'm going to lose track here. And Mayor Turner, Judge Hidalgo, thank you all for welcoming us. And Jill and I wanted to visit Texas today for a couple of reasons.
So sad. It is so sad to see this happening. I mean, this is the leader of America. And if you compare this to President Trump's speech at CPAC, I mean, the differences are startling. President Trump has stamina, he has charisma, he has energy and action in all of his words. Biden, it looks like he needs to have another nap. They state here that Biden had to have been the most well-rested candidate in history, largely spending the campaign season in his basement avoiding the press, probably because of moments like this. They state that whenever he did venture out, Biden forgot where he was, who he was speaking to, what state he was in, and how many grandchildren he has, or whether he was even standing next to his wife or his sister, and just about everything else you can expect from an elderly man with dementia. Now, let's take a look at just a few examples of his rapidly declining cognitive ability. Watch.
Look, tomorrow's Superstar Tuesday, and I want to thank you all. I tell you what, I'm rushing ahead, aren't I? 150 million people have been killed since 2007 when Bernie voted to exempt the gun manufacturers from liability. It would put 720 million women back in the workforce. Nobody should be in jail for a nonviolent crime. My name's Joe Biden. I'm a Democratic candidate for the United States Senate. What's not to like about Vermont in terms of the beauty of it? And what a neat town. Play the radio. Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. We choose science over fiction. We choose truth over facts. Think about it. We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.
You know the thing. Brian, roll back that first clip. We're going to play that again at some point. I know it. But they state that whether somebody is in a state of cognitive decline or not, it seems like an important question when that somebody wants to be the president of the United States. It certainly was a question the mainstream media pondered during President Ronald Reagan's second term. But to the left, anybody was better than Trump. Besides, if things get too far out of hand, as I stated at the open, the 25th Amendment is always there to make Kamala Harris the next president.
Excuse me, Fennell, and what am I doing here? I'm going to lose track here, and
I'm going to lose track here. Absolutely disgraceful that his family lets him go out there and do this, that the Democrat Party puts him out there as a puppet. I mean, how can they think that this is going to fly? You cannot hide these things. They are on full display. But of course, he does have the media running cover for him all day long. But we're not going to let that slide. We're going to continue to cover this, and we're going to ask the tough questions that need to be asked, because clearly there is something very, very wrong here.
May God bless you, and may God protect our troops. Thank you all very, very much.
Mr. President, based on the news that you announced, when do you think things will get back to normal? When do you think things will get back to normal?
When do I think things will get back to normal? I've been cautioned not to give an answer to that because we don't know for sure. But my hope is by this time next year, we're going to be back to normal, and before that, my hope. But again, it depends upon if people continue to be smart and understand that we still can have significant losses. There's a lot we have to do yet. So thank you.
Did you receive a briefing about the border today? Did you receive a briefing about the border today?
Yes, I did.
What did you learn?
A lot.
Is there a crisis at the border, sir?
No, we'll be able to handle the problem. And I'm happy to take questions if that's what I'm supposed to do, Nance, whatever you want me to do.